The Big Fish and the Flood. This is a story of Vishnu, the Hindu god of life, who was a great friend to mankind. Vishnu, all in gold, sat in the heavens on a splendid throne among lotus flowers flooded with light. With him was his beautiful wife Lakshmi, goddess of love and happiness. He often used to visit the earth, descending swift as lightning in a golden chariot pulled by demons, with the bird god Garuda flying beside him. Sometimes he would go in guise of an animal so that he could come close to men without being recognized. Once upon a time, the Dravidian people of India were governed by a wise king. He was good and a just man who lived the life of a saint and took no food but pure water. One day, the king was leaning over a stream, drawing water over as a sacrifice to the god Vishnu, who he worshipped devoutly. Suddenly, he felt a tiny fish wriggling in his fingers. The holy man was just going to throw it back into the water when he heard a tiny voice clear as crystal. "O king, you're usually so kind to animals," said the fish. "So why are you treating me like this?" "Because I want you to be free again, little fish," replied the king. But the little fish started to weep. "That kind of freedom is for the strong, not for those who have something to fear," it said. "If I stay in the stream, the bigger fish will eat me, or a fisherman will catch me and cook me. I do not call that freedom." "Oh," said the king in surprise, "I never looked at it that way." And he put the fish in a bucket of water instead of the stream. There it thrived and grew, and in no time at all the bucket was much too small. "Give me somewhere bigger to live," ordered the fish, and the king put it in a pool behind his palace. Yet in a few hours the strange thing had grown so large that its head and fins were out of the water. "Help me, holy man," moaned the fish. "I can hardly breathe." So the king moved the miraculous fish to a small lake, and then to a big lake, and then finally to a sea, because the monster grew to a fabulous size as though by magic. A thick horn appeared on top of its head, and its scales glistened like pure gold. It was a splendid sight, but the fish was still not satisfied. "King, why are you abandoning me?" it complained. "Do you want me to be swallowed up by the terrible monsters of the ocean?" The king thought for a while. "You are bigger than everything else in the ocean," he pointed out. "Surely there is something supernatural about you. Are you a god?" Vishnu revealed himself at last. "Now I recognize you," said the king, bowing his head. "You are Vishnu, the eternal and fortunate." "What do you want of me, Lord?" "Brahma, the great creator, is going to sleep soon, and the world will be drowned," replied the fish. "But you, king, will be saved, and you will be the new king of a new era. In 7 days, the sky and the air will fall into the sea, and I shall bring you a ship. Take the 7 wisest of your people and go on board. Take seeds and fruits and healing plants and 1 pair of every kind of animal. Then the waves grew large, and I will save you from death." The king did as he was told. He gathered together the 7 sages, the seeds, the fruit, and the healing plants, and a pair of every kind of animal. After 7 days, the waves grew large, and torrents of rain fell from the sky. Vishnu returned, a fish again, pulling an enormous ship behind him, and the king went on board with his precious cargo. The sun became dark, and the blackest night spread over the world for thousands of years. As long as the sleep of Brahma lasted, the refugees traveled in their ship over the ocean that covered the world. The king put his trust in Vishnu, who never ceased to pull the ship along. Then one day Brahma woke at last. The new sun climbed into the sky, and the earth was flooded with light. Vishnu pulled the ship towards the Himalayan mountains and spoke to the king. "The water is starting to go down," he said. "When the highest mountain peak appears above it, throw out your anchors. Then, as the water goes on falling, take the animals and plants and go down the mountains and give life back to the new world." Then Vishnu returned to the sky in his golden chariot, with the bird god Garuda flying beside him. The king did as the god had told him to. Trees and plants grew from the seeds, and the animals multiplied and spread to all parts of the world. And so did mankind. A new era had begun.